Those who are transcendental knowers of the Supreme Tattva, they have said that it has three aspects: Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. If someone does not understand this, they do not understand what is the Paratattva. And if they only understand Brahma, they do not understand Paratattva. If they only understand Paramatma, they do not understand Paratattva. Only if they understand Bhagavan, then they will understand fully Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So, Krishna, or Hari, who has expanded himself in unlimited forms, which are non-different than his very own self. They are his own self, just like when we see the moon in the sky. The moon appears to change into different shapes throughout the half of the month, 15-day period. So the moon is shifting and the moon is changing. But it is only the same object. It is not different moons. Not different, separate moons. So although this is a material example, actually Bhagavan, he is one. He is one Paratattva. And all of his expansions are his own very self. They're not different than himself, although they manifest in different personalities, in different forms, and they even have different qualities, and they have different manifestations of rasa, but they are all one with himself. By tattva, they are one tattva, Bhagavat tattva. One tattva. There is no other. So Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 3rd chapter of the 1st canto, now the Bhagavatam is telling that one supreme reality, Bhagavan, has unlimited incarnations and expansions. So to understand Paratattva, we have to understand how he is expanding himself into so many unlimited forms, described as like the waves of the ocean. The waves of the ocean always coming more, unlimitedly. In the same way, he expands himself unlimitedly on unlimited planets, unlimited universes, unlimited forms in different species also. He's coming. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, it is also telling that he manifests in as many species as there are. Yes. In the purport, Srila Prabhupada says, this is inconceivable to the human brain, how this is possible. But yet, it is possible. So, Savai Radha Kanto Navajalada Kantis Chid Udaya. This is the ultimate aspect of Hari. It is that Sri Hari alone, the very form of transcendental reality, Chit Swarup, whose complexion is the color of a freshly formed thunder cloud, who is Sri Radha Vallabha, the beloved of Sri Radha. So now in the last line of the shlok, the most intimate identity of that Sri Hari is told. Beyond the Brahma, beyond Paramatma, and even beyond Bhagavan manifestations of various incarnations, that one supreme reality manifests in his most complete form of Sri Krishna, known as Radha Vallabha, the beloved of Radha. So that personality, with a beautiful complexion of shyam color, which is like navajalada, like a new fresh rain cloud. Navajalada. So that shyam form, it is the supreme reality. This is the statement of the Vedas. The statement of the Vedas is declaring this everywhere. That supreme reality, that supreme truth, is this playful personality who has a color like the fresh rain cloud, and is manifesting pastimes of transcendental rasa, amorous pastimes, and he is the beloved of Sri Radha. So in this one shlok, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has shown how Sri Gauranga Mahaprabhu has made this first tattva very clear. Very clear. How to understand who is Sri Hari. So without understanding through the Amnaya, without examining what are the statements of the Vedas which support this truth, we cannot gain proper understanding, or we cannot develop proper faith in this. And faith is the only method by which we can see that supreme truth. Only by faith, by transcendental Shraddha. The faith, the Shraddha, gives us the eyes to see the supreme abode, the transcendental Dham, the name, form, qualities like this. Only through Shraddha. So when that knowledge given in the Vedas through Amnaya is received with full faith by the devotee, then this tattva, this truth, that Hari, that Krishna, is that supreme reality, becomes fixed in the heart. Yes, becomes fixed in the heart. And now one accepts, yes, Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. Yes. You know that there's a nice little story that our Srila Prabhupada, when he was preaching here in India, after he had begun his Hare Krishna movement in America, then when he came back to India, along with a couple dozen of his disciples, so that was in 1970, and so these Western disciples, they were going here and there with our Srila Prabhupada